Hey, everybody, good evening, and welcome to Girl Chat Weekly with LHG. I'm Latanya Harris Gooden, and tonight's topic, ladies, finding me, the missing masterpiece. I want to play a song, and we don't own the rights to it, but it kind of really fits what we're going to be talking about tonight, and it's by one of my favorite artists, female artists. So I'm going to play this song, and we will be right back and kick off the show. It's Critical Conversations presents Girl Chat Weekly, Finding Me, Missing Masterpiece. Let's go. Here we go, guys. Gals.
Out of reach, that's what happiness used to be to me. It was nothing more than a dream, incomplete. Always coming up just shy of what I need. Telling myself all the things I could never be. But I'm through with that kind of thinking. Cause it would never get me anywhere. And now I'm thinking outside of the box. And I put my faith to work. Lord, I'm trusting you and I'm ready to prove. If I got to walk on water to get to where I gotta go, I'm gonna walk on water and I won't be afraid no more. If I got to walk on water, I know it takes a miracle. I'm gonna walk on water. I'm gonna walk on it, walk on it, walk. Now the truth is, I'm not gonna tell myself the same old lie. That I can never be more than what I see right now. Cause I know where the proof is. It's when I see me like I'm looking through God's eyes. It believes I get the guys, but I'm through with that kind of thinking. Cause it would never get me anywhere. And now I'm thinking outside of the box. And I put my faith to work. Lord, I'm trusting you and I'm ready to prove. If I got to walk on water, if I to get to where I gotta go, I'm gonna walk on water. I'm walking. I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. I got to walk on water. I know it takes a miracle. I'm gonna walk on water. I'm gonna walk on. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. Ain't nothing gonna block me. One foot in front of the other. Step by step by step by step by. Ain't no room for excuses. They won't let you reach your goal. No one pride and so useless. And you know that pride, it comes before the fall. I gotta be. And get rid of things that I don't need. Step in me, but me. If I got to walk on water to get to where I gotta go. Water. Never be afraid no more. Stepping out on it. Ooh. I'm gonna walk on water. It's my time. Walk on water. I gotta go. Walk on water. On my way. Walk on water. To the end. Walk on water. Walk on water. Walk on water. I'm gonna walk on it. Walk on it. Walk on it. Let nothing stop me. Ooh. I'll keep on telling myself I got this. Step by step by step by step by.
Hey, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Woo! Thank you for tuning in tonight to Girl Chat Weekly. I look forward to this time, y'all. I do. This really has been an incredible journey with our fellowship once a week, talking about all things women. And I know some guys probably sneaking in listening to our conversation, but that's okay. We ain't gonna put them out, right, ladies? But I played that song because I'm changing. And I don't know if you are experiencing this in your life. I just turned 48. And as soon as I hit the 40s, I felt like my life really was starting to make sense. And I felt like I needed to change and pivot and grow in a different way. So when this song says, if I have to walk on water to get to where I gotta go, it's really a by any means necessary. A lot of opinions out there, a lot of distractions out there, a lot of negativity out there, a lot of really mean spirited people in the world. And if you're not careful and prayerful and you're not fully covered in the armor of God, you'll find yourself drifting so many different directions, ladies. So tonight's episode is really dedicated to discovering who we are. I called it Finding Me, the Missing Masterpiece. And to be honest with you, we're not missing, we're not lost. I just think we've allowed the wrong people in our ears and we've given power to people and not letting God have all the power. I don't think we're drifting in an abyss like the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks and he was lost for how many months. We're not that. I know it feels like that sometimes. Let's just be honest. Sometimes it feels as though you are lost because as women, we're doing so much. We have our hands in so much. And it's not bad stuff. I mean, I love my family. I love being, mother, wife, sister, boss, auntie, cousin, all that. Those are really good things. However, when you get so engulfed by the roles you play and you tend to lose the essence of who you are, that's when the water starts to shake a little bit and you get some ripples. So I feel as though it was a good time to discuss how we maybe reunite with ourselves. Not that we're lost, but maybe it's time for a family reunion with your own self. Maybe it's time to sit down somewhere, sister, and grab your water bottle, stay hydrated, sit in your own thoughts for a minute, pray, do a little weekend getaway by yourself. Maybe it's time to unplug. One of my sisters, Kayo Shonda, who was on the show just recently, she unplugs every Wednesday, like off social media. And I haven't been able to do that. But sometimes, if you want to find you have to close yourself off from so many other distractions. And unplugging is probably a good idea. This whole social media game, I'm getting ready to do a whole show Saturday about social media and how we have gone crazy with it. Because if you're up in the middle of the night and you grab your phone and you scrolling, it's 2 or 3 in the morning, that's an addiction. Next thing you know, you're reading people's stories and getting engrossed in it. And next thing you know, you ain't getting no sleep and you're internalizing other people's issues. Ladies, we got to do life differently. And I feel as though what better community to talk about how to find us, than ladies. That's why it's called Girl Chat Weekly. Every week, we come together to lay on the table some of the issues of our hearts. And for me, I have been searching for LHG, who she is at her core. When you talk about finding yourself, and I got articles, trust me, I got I've been doing my research. But when you talk about finding yourself, it's because we have literally stretched ourselves so thin across all the roles we play that we've become unrecognizable to us. So you start to burn out, you start to get tired, your body starts to break down, your mind starts to break down. That means you've stretched. Can you imagine? I got this skirt that I love, and it's called a broomstick skirt. You know those long skirts that are crinkly? And I hate when the elasticity around the waist gives way and it's just a piece of big cloth. That means it's been stretched too much. And many of us, ladies, we've stretched ourselves or allowed others to stretch ourselves so thin that we've compromised the epitome of who we are and who God made us. And we toss around in scripture about being fearfully and wonderfully made. And it's not cliche, it is the word of God. And let's talk about what a masterpiece is. Masterpiece defined a work of outstanding artistry, skill, workmanship, a piece of work by a craftsman accepted as qualification for membership of a guild as an acknowledged master. When God created us, he created us as a masterpiece with his skill, with his divine design in mind. So when you hear people say we are wonderfully and fearfully made, think it not strange. He doesn't make junk. So evidently, if he made you the way he made you, that it's worthy of exploring who you are. Now, we didn't become woke until Oprah came out talking about finding yourself. Because when I was growing up, wasn't nobody trying to find themselves. But here comes Oprah, y'all tag Oprah, and she started bringing on these guests and Iyanla Van Zant and that whole movement about fix my life, and people start talking about finding themselves. But I thought about that. It makes it seem like we're lost, but some of us have been feeling lost. I mean, can we just be honest, ladies? Sometimes you feel lost. I know I do. And one of the things that was going through my mind as I was thinking about the show tonight, and I wasn't going to come on, I'll be honest, because my head is hurting. I'm emotional today. Hi, Sister Arnetta. Thank you for joining me. I've been emotional today, and I wasn't even going to come on, but I pushed myself because this is my happy place. So when you talk about finding yourself, I learned about me that I thought the entire foundation of who I am was based on my family, on my job, or my accomplishments, or where I was trying to go in life. Foundationally, I was attributing my worth to other external forces. Wrong move. And I became a people pleaser. The very thing that I thought I did the best was my job. And when you're in the corporate environment and you're constantly pushing to be the best, the brightest, to be invited to those meetings where the people of influence are making decisions, it's a competitive environment. And as an African American woman, I found myself trying to just compete for just status quo. Because let's just be honest, maybe we're not in traditional slavery anymore, but in the workplace, as an African American woman, I felt that other women could get through it. Whatever they want to do, they can do it, but I couldn't do that. Spotlight on me. I had coworkers who are not my color could say all kind of crap and they wouldn't get in trouble. But LHG does one infraction and now I'm the worst. So when my job started to fail me because I gave them too much power over my mind and I became uncomfortable, I went from knowing that I was a great employee to allowing someone to diminish me and break my spirit. My job doesn't define me. It may be a layer of what I do. It may even be a layer of who I am. But really, how you find yourself is you find God. I'm not lost. I'm not a glove that somebody left on the bus that somebody put in the lost and found. That's not us. So even though I said finding me, in essence, we're right here. And when you have a God connection, that's really how you can find who you are in the one who made you. So tonight may seem like all over the place, y'all, ladies, but let me just unpack it the best I can. I am changing. The things that used to give me motivation in my 20s and 30s no longer move me now at almost 50. I thank God for a 9 to 5. And what I learned, I put that post about that. Well, what I learned about the 9 to 5, really what I learned is ain't no such thing as a 9 to 5. These jobs are working us from 7 to 7 if we let them. I wish I could get off at 5 and start at 9. That wasn't happening for me. But a job, a marriage, a relationship, financial status, education, those are facets of us, but that is not the core and the crux of who we are. Our identity truly comes from God because He created us, He sustains us. So while I sometimes we try to be so deep and spooky spiritual about finding ourselves, we don't really have far to go, sisters. But when our God connection is weakened, when we don't spend time in the word, when we don't spend time in prayer, when we don't spend time around other women of faith that can build us up, you will feel lost. Who has your ear? Who's speaking to you in your spirit? Who's influencing you, sis? Last night I had the privilege of attending an amazing event, and shout out to Reverend Angela Cadwell from Transformation Church in Detroit for an amazing women's event. In that room were women that I have encountered that have influenced my life. They may not even know it in such a positive way that it changed me to my core. Sisters, if you don't have an accountability partner in every area of your life, you are doing yourself a disservice. Whether it's business, marriage, personal life, health, financial, we really do need each other. And that's really why I do these shows, girls. I may not be able to see you in person. You could be in a whole different state. But when we come together and fellowship and just talk and kick it about everyday life, there is a freedom that comes with that. Even though you may be expected to be perfect and be the be all end all for everybody, let people know that you're not perfect and that you're not a superhero. Let them know. Let them know that you have limitations. Let me get my girl in here. Simone just popped in. Hey sis, you done made it home, girl.
It's GirlChat weekly time.
Girl, it's Girl Chat Weekly time. And let me tell you, Simone, thank you for being here. I almost didn't do it, girl. It has been an emotional day for me.
Spill the
I
tea.
mean, let me tell you,
Literally
I
take the whole
I
heart on
started
me.
I started out telling everybody that I'm changing, Simone. The
Yeah.
the older I get and the more I dive into learning about myself, the more I
Mm-hmm.
realize that I have been giving power to everybody else but God when it came to ruling over me. Opinions, people's opinions about me, opinions about my job and work ethic. So, for example, when you go to work, Simone, your boss gives you a performance review. Maybe it's once a year, twice a year, whatever. And they put in their words, their opinion of how you work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's all subjective.
Yeah.
Many people put in performance reviews how they feel about you. If you're
That
not
part.
in if you're not in the in crowd, if you're not one of the good old boys, good old girls, and if you're not careful, you can put so much stake on somebody else's word and someone else's assessment of you that you will second guess what you know. And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of allowing the opinions of people to make me second guess what I know God has done for me, what I know God
Come
has given me.
on.
I can't unknow what I know. I can't
Come
unbe
on.
who I am. So although I appreciate the fact that our bosses have to assess us, when you go into
Mm-hmm.
those offices, you better pray and say, Lord, all I'm asking is that you remind me that whatever is said in this room, they are flesh and blood just like me.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, my worth and my value comes from God.
Yes.
I noticed that
Listen,
my reviews were really
I'm,
good when my leader liked me. But when she started not liking me as much, then she started putting way more personal opinion and not facts. Okay?
that's what they do. That's what they
That's
do.
what they do. And if you're not careful and you're not rooted and grounded in the word and rooted and grounded in your confidence, that thing will shake you and have you depressed.
Mm,
And I would dread having these meetings and dread having these conversations because I wouldn't know what pocket she's gonna come out of. Depending on how
mm.
she's feeling, man, pray
Yeah.
for your leaders. Pray for your leaders. I'll put that
Yeah.
right there. Pray
Yeah.
for leaders
I'm
because they're
learning
here.
that
You learning that too, Simone?
even at 25, I'm learning how not to depend on the opinions of others
Ooh,
because it's crazy. And like you said, depending on how they feel one day, we are wishy washy. We're human. We're wishy washy. We go by feelings. So if I tell you today, oh, I'm gonna take you out to lunch. Call you up. Do. Hey, LHG, what you doing? Oh, I'm gonna take you out to lunch. I'm on my way. And then I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't feel like going no more.
see? Yep. See? Feelings are fickle. They can change like the weather. And I'm not saying feelings are bad. God made us human and we do feel. But when you're dealing with corporate America and working, and you are up under a person who changes all the time, and one day you're the best thing in the world, and the next day you're the worst thing, that can take a toll on your spirit. That's why when you go into a 9 to 5, you have to go in with the mindset of my job is a resource, but God is the source. I work
Mm-hmm.
with these people, but they're not God. I have a
Mm,
boss or a leader, they don't own me
mm-hmm.
or my mind. You have to put yourself in the mindset of I'm doing what I do as unto the Lord.
Yeah.
That's where my work ethic comes from.
Yeah.
People look at me and say, what's wrong with her? She goes really hard. She crazy. I wouldn't do all that. Then don't do it. I do what I do because I want to make the team win. And I love for us to win together.
Thank you.
Okay? I'm not asking anybody to compete
Say that
against me.
again.
I want the team to win. I rest better when we're winning. And if I gotta
Yeah.
take the ball and run with it, I do. Now I will admit I tend to overachieve.
Mm,
And that's what breaks me down because in corporate America, you got to have a delicate balance. If you do too much, that means they're going to depend on you too much. If you don't do
yep.
enough, then they're going to complain you don't do enough. It's
And we
a
talked about it last week.
it's a delicate
Yeah.
balance. And that's why you have to be prayed up and ask God to guide you even in the workplace. What should I do and how should I operate even on my job? Because
Yeah.
one thing about recruitment is finding me, the lost masterpiece. If you put all of your eggs in the basket of a job and you get laid off, what's going to happen to you? You're going to lose it. If you put all of your eggs into a relationship and that man leaves you, what's going to happen to you? So we cannot trust just any and everybody. Our hope has to really be in God, who doesn't change. Because
Yeah.
feelings are
Yep.
fickle. Feelings
Yeah.
are fickle. Like this
Yeah.
morning, I woke up like I was feeling really good. And then as the day went on, I just started getting exhausted. Like, what is this? What's happening? Because if you're not careful, the enemy will sneak up on you and tell you, you know what, you should be further off than what you are.
Yep.
You should have more than what you have.
Yeah.
Look at the person over
Yeah.
there. They're your age or younger than you, and they have more than you. When you start to
Yeah.
compare yourself to other people, you will stay lost. You will stay lost. You got to get to a place where you so in tune with the Lord and what he says that no other voice really matters.
Yeah.
His sheep hear his voice. Now, we are still in the world, so we have to operate to a point under the world system. But when it comes to what's fueling you down on the
Mm-hmm.
inside, it's got to be a God thing. It's got to be a God thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And all the self help books, all the self love in the world is not going to matter if you are not connected to the Lord
Oh,
on a consistent basis. You can read every book,
put that on a
12
t-shirt.
steps, 13 steps, 10 steps to a better you, 5 steps to you can do all the steps. But if you are not rooted and grounded in your faith, none of it's going to stick. And that's
Put
why
that on a
many of
t-shirt.
us keep going through some of the same stuff over and over. Hey, Sinette, let me get you in here. Hi, sister, how you doing? Good to
Hi,
see you in
Sinette.
here. So I'm really at a point, Simone, where it's time to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get so discombobulated by social media, opinions, and your mind keeps spinning, and you can't even hear from God. And he could be
Yeah.
saying something so clearly, but we're so distracted by looking at everybody else. That's why unplugging is going to have to be
I feel
important
like
in
it's
this.
kind of like, I feel like what you just said is kind of like, how when you even I do it, I'll admit I do it, putting on headphones and somebody's gonna talk to you, but you got headphones on and you don't know they talking to you. Tell you when you take your headphones out, you be like, "What happened? What you say? Huh?
Right.
I didn't catch you." Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And you have to decide. And as I get closer to 50, I realize I'm not the same person I was when I was 20 years old.
none of
I'm
us
I'm
are.
I'm not. I'm
Well,
changing.
shouldn't be.
Right. I'm evolving
What
into.
what William Murphy say? I'll never be the same.
I'm telling you.
Not
Now
after being with you.
there's some stuff that's still the same in me. Now, but in
Mhm.
terms of my growth, in terms of
Yeah.
where I want to go in life, my passion, my dreams, I have spent over 30 years in the corporate environment. The good,
Hmm.
the bad, and everything in between. I've learned so much. And in that environment, it was all about get ahead, you know, get promoted, elevation. And it's nothing wrong with wanting to be elevated. But
But the
then you
problem with that is
Mhm.
they want you to step over each other to do it.
That's what I was gonna say. The level of competition that people were trying to create, yes, and that we need a break. We need a break. The level of competition became uncomfortable. What the reason why I push myself is not to make anybody look a certain way. I have personal goals.
Hmm.
So I got tired of being labeled as arrogant. Yep, they call me arrogant, standoffish, because they said she over there doing all that, trying to make us look bad. No, actually, I really ain't paying you no mind. I am. I have a personal goal.
Hmm.
I don't know any other way to work but work hard
Yeah.
because I have a goal. So
Right.
when we go for the promotions and we're, and everybody wants the same job, I look at it, well, if it's for me, God, I'll get it.
There you go.
So the last promotion that I got, I was getting people coming up to me, but you beat so and so at the job. You beat so and so. I said, well, I didn't even know they applied, and all I can say is I'm just grateful to be where I am.
Yeah.
I had people rolling their eyes at me because they didn't feel I was qualified. But guess what? Neither did I. I didn't either.
Well,
But I went for it anyway.
the
And
thing
I said,
is, the thing
Lord,
is,
if it's for me,
people,
it's for me.
yeah, the
That's
thing is,
right.
people feel like people try to make us feel insecure,
Mm,
even when we already are insecure. Like
hmm.
they don't understand that we already feel like we're not qualified.
Right.
We already feel like we don't look the part, we don't sound the part,
Come on.
we don't walk it like we talk it. We feel that
Come
way.
on.
We already feel that way. And the thing is, they try to push more of that on us, which is
Yes.
unnecessary,
Yes.
very unnecessary.
Right. So when you
Why?
have
Because we
someone
already
that
have that burden on us.
right. And what I found out as well is there are a lot of insecure people in very high positions. So Simone, come on back, Simone. Come on back.
But
Oh
I'm gonna
Lord.
need you to help me to,
Somebody get her a
I'm gonna
laptop.
need
She's
help.
down for the count. But for real, y'all, it's just because you see somebody
That
in a high
is
position.
a
I'm telling you, there's people who make a lot of money, but don't know a whole lot of nothing. Okay,
come.
she back, Sister Arnell. She said, where'd she go? There are people who have gotten positions based on who they know,
With you.
not what they know. Okay, there are so
Take
many
my phone
people.
out.
There
Take
are
my whole
so
laptop and
many
with you.
people, girl. You would be amazed at how many people have been able to,
I
Sister Arnell,
agree. I
she they've
totally
been able
agree.
to
The
step
problem
on people
is,
and they
the
don't
thing is
know
with that,
nothing.
the thing is with that, because they're so insecure, they try to
Hmm.
act all tough with it.
Yes, it's an act.
Oh,
It's an
we have
act.
to want it. As long as I feel okay, doing cool,
Hmm.
they try to act tough about. Oh, I run this kingdom. I run this place.
Yes,
But
yes. Some of the most influential people in companies, and you may even look at them as a role model, but many of them have so many inner struggles, and they mask it by appearing to be what they're not. I found this to be true.
indeed,
The people who talk the loudest and appear to be the strongest, they're not. They're not.
the weakest
A lot of
link.
people they have a facade, but me, the way I operate, I'm just me. I will speak to the CEO and the janitor the same way.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care about the title. I don't
Right.
treat people any differently based on their title. You are a human being to me.
Exactly.
So people look at me and say, "How did you
Exactly.
just get to talk to the CEO?" Yes, his name
This is
is.
why. This is
Mhm.
This is why I try to tell people I'm not hooked on titles. I don't care if you were Bishop, Bishop First Lady. I don't care. You're
Right.
still Latanya Harris Gooden,
Yes.
and that's what I'm gonna call you,
That's
LHG
right.
or Latanya Harris Gooden.
Yes. We're people.
I don't. I
Because
don't
you have
care
a
if you First Lady. I don't care if you. I don't care if you're President of the United States.
right.
Now, what I will do, I might call you Miss Latanya Harris Gooden. That's what I might add.
Right.
However, it's still Harris Gooden.
Right.
Just
We get
just
so
in,
caught
just
up.
what they call it as what they call those things in front of people's names. I can't think of it.
I know
Oh
what
well,
you
you
mean.
know.
What you mean. Like the Mr. and Mrs. and stuff like that. Hmm. So I've learned in just in my lifetime, when people have high positions, I respect them for being in the position.
You get it.
I get that. I'm there to support
Right.
my leader. I'm going to always be a team player, but it doesn't mean that because I have you as my superior that I'm inferior.
That part.
I don't have to act inferior because you're my superior. And that's where we
See,
tend to miss the mark. I'm still a great
see.
employee. I bring great stuff to the table.
First of all, pause.
That's
Pause.
good,
I'm
Sinette. I
still
don't
a
have to
ATM.
be respectful. That's it, Sinette. Respect.
I am a HUMANBEING.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
part. Let's just settle that. Let's just put the mud over that part right real quick.
we're
I'm a
human beings.
HUMANBEING.
Yeah.
So,
And we should be
you know,
able to
that's
respect each other no matter what positions we have or others have. Mutual respect should always exist. And then this is how workplaces become toxic. When leaders allow toxicity to infiltrate the workplace without calling out the people who are bringing the toxicity, that's where we go wrong. Stop avoiding
did we hire
confrontation and
did we
get to the
hire any
that. I hate that. Don't avoid the troublemakers, leaders. You gotta get in there and figure out who is poisoning your camp. You
I
gotta
got a
get in there.
question.
What's your question?
Did we hire any ushers yet? Because I'm about to go over
Listen,
again.
we have to call the Usher Temporary Agency. But let me tell you,
Man,
just because we have a person with the high paying position, chances are they may only know a certain percentage of the job because they have you to give them the answers.
hmm,
Okay. They may be getting the 6-digit salary, but the people who are giving him or her the answers are the real workers. Not in every case, but in many cases. They're the face of the department. They have on the suit and they look the look and they walk the walk and all that. But behind the scenes is some people doing the grunge work that's making them
trust
look
me.
good.
Trust
Okay.
me. If you come to my desk, if you come to me and ask, what department does Latanya Harris good and work in? I literally, Latanya Harris good, please come to the front desk.
And I've learned, what I've learned
this
about,
young lady, what department you work in, and how could you help her?
I'm
Because
not
I don't know.
helping people, Simone. My life's work has been service. My
Yes,
entire heart is servitude. I love to help people. But in my life,
you too.
I've learned that some people will take your kindness for weakness and will try to literally destroy you if you allow it. They will usurp every ounce of energy out of you and throw you away if you let them. You have to stand up for yourself. And in finding yourself and finding your voice, you have to realize you're valuable. Number one, to God, because He made you. And number two, you have to be valuable to yourself. Stop going into these jobs, allowing people to stress you out so much that you have a nervous breakdown and you go home crying and can barely crawl to your car.
Oh,
Stop allowing people to talk to you any kind of way in the name of business.
not just
No,
business. Period.
period.
It don't even have nothing. It doesn't even have to have anything to do with work or the workplace. Just
Right?
period.
Just respect. And in
And
my
I'm
situation,
learning that.
working around some of the most disrespectful women, and it was crazy because these two particular disrespectful women could say and do anything and not get any type of reprimand. But if
That's the
I, being
problem.
an African American woman, said anything close or remotely off or perceived to be off, it was a problem.
It's okay when you do it, but it's fine when I do it.
And I don't like that. And that made me realize racism
And that's the problem
really
with
good.
the workplace. The workplace, in my opinion, is
Hmm.
not equal. We do
Oh
not
no,
tolerate equality.
it's not
We do
equal.
not
It ain't
tolerate.
equal yet.
Listen,
Mm-mm.
listen. Sister Sasha can be over there on the phone all day long, typing and texting
Hmm.
whoever. Meanwhile, I'm over here on the phone. Oh, you getting it? This you getting it right up.
Yes.
This your second time I told you.
Hmm.
But are you blind? You ain't seen Sister Sasha over there on her
Right.
phone all day,
All eyes on
all
me.
month.
All on me. Yes. Yeah.
But I'm getting written up because you done told me 3 times to stop being on my phone.
Hmm.
Huh?
All I
Makes
ask for
sense.
is everything to be equal. Don't overlook what they're doing because you don't like
Right.
confrontation, but you in my face
And
about
then,
every
the,
little thing.
and then the thing
That's
is, when they do that, their main excuse is, I'm talking about you. We're not talking about her right now.
all right. Right.
That's the
Exactly.
favorite line to throw at you.
Exactly.
We we
But
we talking
you
about
also
you right now. We're not
realize
worried about Sister Sasha.
just because a person is in a leadership position doesn't qualify them to be a good leader. They just got the position that they can interview well or they got connections. It doesn't mean
Bingo.
that they're qualified to be an effective leader. I've learned that in my life, just because they got the job doesn't mean that they're qualified for it. Some people have the gift of gab in the interview and they land the job. But I will say this, I have learned in prayer that when you work around people and you get to know them, God will reveal certain things about them to you so you can
Mm-hmm.
govern yourself accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a game they play. It's corporate America is a game. There's different moves you have to make in order to survive.
Like chess or checkers.
Yes, exactly. And you have to be strategic in your moves. And you have to
Absolutely.
study people and you have to watch them. Because, for example, I can go in a meeting and we talking about different ideas. I can give my ideas, and then they'll come back and say, "Well, no, I don't want to do that." You get an email saying, "I got an idea." I'm like, "That's the idea I just gave you." But if it's
See?
not their idea, they don't. You got to make them think it's their idea,
Or if it's not your best friend's idea.
right? Corporate America can be a game, and again,
You
I am not. I'm
you
not
literally
knocking
took
health.
every word of my idea. Every word
Yeah.
I said. You literally took word for word of my idea, what I just said, and
Mhm.
now you all upset and wanna, oh yeah, let's do that.
It can be a game, and if you don't pay attention to people and stay prayed up, because I also know that God can use us as Christians, as women of faith. God can use us in corporate America. God can place you in a position as an assignment, and I believe that He's done that with me these last 30 years. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just now at a place where I feel like I'm transitioning and I can take all that I learned and do something that's going to fulfill me in a way that a 9 to 5 doesn't. Now I'm ready
Mm-hmm.
for impact. How can I impact people in such a way where they want to become better and better versions
What
of
we're doing
themselves?
right now. Literally what we're doing right now.
I agree with that. I do agree with that, Simone. I do. And as women, we have to ask God, okay, Lord, I have all these hats that I wear, but what is it that you have given me to do that ties into my unique purpose, my dreams, my passion? What can I do to to advance the kingdom of God? What's my lane? What's my niche, my sweet spot? And don't compare yourself to anybody else's. You know how many people sell paparazzi? Thousands. But I choose to do it my way. And I'm asking God to expand my business based upon what He's given me to do in this company. I
Mhm.
don't have to. I do get tips from people, but at the end of the day, when that live light comes on, you get an LHG. You
All
get
day,
me.
every day.
Because in the business world, I've been told I'm too much. I got too much joy. I got too much passion. Um, so yeah, when you get
Listen,
tired of being told
first of
you're
all,
not fit, you're not fit to be here.
first, number one, let's just go down the list here, okay? Let's make a list, okay? Number one, Nehemiah 10. The joy of the Lord is your strength.
Yes,
So that means, literally means, when I'm tired, when I'm feeling annoyed and frustrated, if
yes.
and not only that, laughter does good like medicine.
Oh, come on with the
I
word
can't
tonight.
I can't
Yes,
exactly quote that scripture. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere in there between Genesis and Revelations.
got it.
However, however, number one, like I said, the joy of the Lord is your strength, and
Yes,
laughter does good like a medicine. So
yes,
that means, literally means, when I'm feeling tired, when I'm feeling down, when
mhm,
I'm feeling annoyed, I'm feeling frustrated, if somebody happens to make me laugh, listen,
yes.
I will probably laugh till I pee myself.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
And that's good.
It
Listen,
is. I'm, I'm
we got so much bad things going on in the world.
so much.
Literally
So,
day after day. And if we focus on who got shot today, who got murdered yesterday, who got killed in the news yesterday, if we
mhm,
focus on that, we are
yes,
going to be so depressed.
yes.
I'm
And I
serious.
want to
I'm
avoid
telling you.
that. I know what it feels like to have depression, to have anxiety, to have PTSD.
Yeah,
So I've been there, and that's a
depression.
bottomless pit, an abyss,
Yeah,
and you feel like you can't even
absolutely.
climb out. So when I'm working, creating my own peace bubble, creating an environment of calm and cooperation and productivity and a little bit of fun, you have to be the change you want to see. If you want your
The
environment to change,
change I want to see must
you got to
first
be
begin
that.
in me.
Yes, yes. So when I was known for my nickname, Awesome Sauce and Sprinkles, because
Oh, I
I
like
always
that.
find, I would try to find a bright side to everything. That's how I mean, I don't want to be stressed. Stress has caused me too much grief.
I like that. Awesome sauce and sprinkles.
Hey, I like it too. They thought it was being funny, but I'm like,
Wait,
I
did
kind
they
of like
mix them together? Mix those two together?
yes, I was that was my nickname, Awesome Sauce and Sprinkles. She's always happy. She's always smiling. She's always laughing. Well, you didn't give me this joy, so why are you worried about it?
There you go.
You didn't give this to me. So why are you so concerned? Would you rather me be just as evil as you to make you comfortable?
Oh,
I refuse to
fire.
sit down. I'm not stooping down. You can come up here, but I ain't coming down there.
One or two choices.
Why do I make you so uncomfortable? That's how you know you own to something. When you start making the people around you uncomfortable.
Mm. Come on in
And
here.
they know there's something different about you, like, ooh, it's something different about her. So the worst thing you can say about me is that I laugh a lot and that I smile a lot and I find the good in the bad. If that's the worst thing you got on me, I'm doing pretty darn good.
There you go.
If that's the worst
Listen,
scandal
you
you can
ain't.
come up with,
Listen, you ain't nothing yet. You think that's
girl,
bad? You ain't seen nothing yet. You think I laugh too much? You think I play around too much? You ain't seen nothing yet.
well, God has been good to me. And I've learned how to keep my joy and keep my peace. I'm still learning though. And people will try to snatch it from you. Misery loves company, ladies. When we go to work, and
See,
if you're going to the
see,
office and you have those people who are always negative, always calling you about something bad, I can't take that no more. As I get close to 50, I don't want to, I just don't want to hear all that every day, all day. I
See?
don't. You got to change your circle. You got to get around some people who, I'm not saying they're going to always agree with you, but they push you to being better. They push you to living your dreams. They push you to open your mind up to new horizons. Don't get stuck in a rut with the same Debbie Downers.
Mm.
You have people who are comfortable with negativity. If they ain't gossiping about somebody's baby daddy or whatever, baby mama, they ain't happy. I don't want to hear that. I want
See?
God to lead me on this path where I am totally in tune to who I am, who He made me, and what He wants me to do in my life at this point. And to watch those doors of opportunity open for me to be able to walk through them and live out my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time for that mess. I don't have time. Hi, Kayo Shonda. Good morning.
Hey.
We have to get to a place where we watch our circle. Everybody can't have access to you all the time because some people will get close to
This is
you
why I'm an
for
introvert.
reasons. Okay?
This is why I'm an introvert.
I get that. I get that. And I have some introverted ways at times. I do. I do. Sometimes. And I get that. I get that. But I called this finding the missing masterpiece because I don't think we even scratched the surface of knowing how important and powerful we are through Christ.
Mm.
Stop dumbing yourself down to make other people feel smart.
Here I go. Here I go.
She's going down again.
Here I go.
Not the slow motion, not the slow motion. I can't stand it. I mean, I'm for real though, Simone. I have done that
I
for
had to
years.
do the slow motion. I had to let the people see it.
I have done that for years. You get in the room and you start to minimize and then they maximize so you can make them feel comfortable. I'm
Just
in the
like
wrong
me.
room.
I'm in class. I don't want no questions because I feel like what I'm gonna say it ain't gonna work. It ain't the right answer. So I just keep my mouth shut. I know the answer. I just keep my mouth shut.
You shouldn't have to feel like you have to hold back to make other people feel comfortable. Why can't we accept everybody's expertise? You may have the answer, I may have an answer, and be okay with it. It shouldn't always have to be this competition. You have your perspective, I have mine. Let's hear it. That's how I rock and roll. I don't know everything.
Yeah, I literally sit in class and they ask a question. I'm like, yeah, I know the answer. I'm like, I just let everybody else try. And then too, most of the time I'll be the first one to raise my hand, and they were like, "Yeah, we gotta get some time." I'm like, "Okay."
Now I get that. If they want to give someone else a chance to answer, I'm there because they should.
Right.
That I get that part. I get that part. But I'm saying we shouldn't have to pretend we don't know to make somebody else feel better.
Yeah.
And in my experience in corporate America, I've done that because people will always say who she thinks she is. She thinks she know. Well, if I happen to know, I happen to know. What's wrong with me? I know what I know. We're a team. What's the problem? The more we know as a collective,
the problem is they don't want you to know. They want to be the only one that know.
So that's the problem.
They want you to shut up. They want you to shut up and let them answer because they want to be the only one that knows.
Yes.
And if they can't be the only one that knows, they nobody will know.
And that's sad because if you're working in a team and each team member has their own unique lane and you bring
Mm-hmm.
everyone on a project, we should be able to benefit from everything that every team member has to offer.
And that's just like a narcissistic relationship. If I can't
Mm,
help you, no one will.
mm, wow. Wow.
So if you won't let me answer this question,
Wow.
nobody gonna answer the question. The whole classroom just gonna be quiet
Right.
because I gotta be the only one that knows the answer. And if I
Mm-hmm.
can't answer a question, well,
Mm-hmm. So the answer to this question, how do I find myself? Number one, you're not lost. It could just be that you have given the wrong people power over your mind and your peace.
I'm
You have
just gonna.
prioritized
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna
everybody
go
else.
ahead and listen. I'm gonna go ahead and put my laptop and my phone in a box and go ahead and
Oh,
mail it to you because you
so serious.
you.
I'm
I'm
just
so
saying.
serious. You
We hear a lot of people saying, I've said it before, I want to find myself. I'm not lost.
Mhm.
It's just that I gave the wrong amount of power to the wrong people and did
Mm,
not reestablish my God connection. I let the
mm,
corporate America or relationship status or financial I let other things get into God's spot.
mm.
That's me in
Idols.
turbulence. Yes, idols. Some of us tend to idolize positions and jobs or people. And that's when you start to feel lost because jobs are resources. I thank God for being able to get a check, but the source is God. And if you're doing what you do for Him, what they say and what they do, people, it doesn't even matter. I'm not even here for you. I'm here because of Him. That changes your perspective of how you operate in the earth. I'm doing what I do as unto the Lord. Only what you do for Christ will last. Only. So how do I find me? I look to the Lord. He made me. I'm not lost.
They,
I just have to reset and realign the order of priority in my life. Jobs will come and
we were
go.
talking about. It's a good thing that you said look to the Creator because we were
Mm-hmm.
talking in class last night in school. We were talking about different types of hair color and stuff like that, and we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about in order to properly get the results that you desire, you have to
Mm-hmm.
look at the instructions and
Yes.
follow. And that's
Yes.
all it is.
That's all it is. That's all it
Look
is.
at look at look at the creator who created it, and look at the instructions that they listed on the bottle or the box or the whatever package it came in. Follow those
Mm-hmm.
instructions.
Yes. Yeah,
It's not rocket science, people.
that's right.
But the problem is we don't like to follow instructions.
That's
Neither
right.
do we like to look at neither do we like to look at the manufacturer.
That's right. Or we following the wrong
We go
person's instructions. Everybody's giving you opinions and you following everybody's instructions. Yet no wonder you're confused and you're not getting the optimal results.
exactly.
Unplug. Speaking of, Kyle Shiner just came on here. She's the one I mentioned earlier about unplugging once a week and turn social media off and just have some quiet. Some of us feel lost because the world is just too loud. We need some peace. It's too loud. You
And with
can't
that,
solve
we talked
everybody's
about
problems on social media. Unplug.
yeah. With that, we
Unplug.
talked about a consultation. Having a
Mm,
consultation, knowing that it's very important to have a consultation with the individual
mm-hmm.
because, especially when it comes to health wise, as far as their hair, you
Yep.
have to know their health. Not saying you got to dig up in their business, be real deep about it, but you have to know in order to get the optimal results that you want. So if somebody has high blood pressure and you do
Mm-hmm.
and you know that this particular product or service that you're going to do to their hair is going to
Yes.
increase their blood pressure, and you don't talk to them about it,
Right.
and they land up in the hospital or
Right.
somewhere, it's on
Right.
you because you didn't
Yeah.
ask the questions that you needed to.
Right. I agree with that. And some people, some clients, I'm sure, will come in saying, I want this. But as a professional, you know that may
And it
not be
will
good
work.
for them.
Exactly.
You got
But you
one
wouldn't
strand
know
of
that.
you
But you
got
wouldn't
one
know that
strand
because you didn't do the
of look like
consultation.
so you gotta, I mean, that can go multiple ways. The
You
customer
wouldn't
come
know
with a
that because you
picture
didn't do the consultation.
of Beyonce and they got one piece of hair. I can't do Beyonce on you, honey. That ain't gonna work.
Right?
Mm-mm. You got one strand of hair. No,
Yeah,
I can't bundle that up. Mm-mm.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
And we talked about mixing each other and, the different types of reactions that will cause on certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, you wouldn't know that because you didn't read the instructions and you didn't talk to the person. So,
Right.
and you
Absolutely.
wondering why the person mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't read the instructions on the box, and you didn't have
Yeah.
a consultation with them. So now the individual is upset with you.
And we out here just winging it. Some stuff you can't win. You'll be to hurt somebody.
There you go. There you go.
So who else to go to for our identity than our manufacturer? He knows how he made us, what he made us, who he made us. So instead of going to other people, other forces to seek validation, we should look to him for affirmation. He affirms me. God affirms me. God validates me. He's my source. And when you start to strengthen your God connection and stay in the word and in prayer, then what others say, which is going to be up one day, down the other, it won't sting as bad.
Hold on.
It won't hurt as much. So we getting ready to wrap up, y'all. My hour is up, and I'm gonna get up here and get me some rest. I'm glad I came on today. I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm glad I
Hold on.
came. We getting ready to
Y'all
wrap
know I
up
always
this.
got something to share. Y'all know I always got something to share. Always. Listen.
What you got, girl? What does that say?
Confidence.
Oh, I love that.
Can, but
Godfidence.
he can. I can't, but he
Sister
can.
says confidence. That's wonderful. Oh, I love the. Is that gold? That's beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
I love that. I love that. I love that, Simone.
So
So we're gonna get ready
if
to wrap
we
up.
have, huh? Yeah. If we have God, if we have confidence in God and what He thinks
Yeah.
about us, and what He
Mhm.
says about us, then
Yeah.
literally nothing no one says will matter.
Right.
Hence the word
Right. And
confidence.
for example, let me go here before we go. Just because you feel like you want a man, ladies, and he tells you how beautiful you are, that's nice, but you got to know your beauty for yourself. You have to feel beautiful yourself. Because that same man could tell you tomorrow that you're horrible looking, and that would break your heart. Confidence is what comes from God. He made you beautiful, not because someone else compliments you and calls you that. That's nice and sweet, but just know it's got to be a God thing. It has to be a God thing. And you don't need to have a man to feel value. If you want to have a man or marriage or whatever, that's fine. But being married should not solidify your identity. Please don't think being attached to another person solidifies your identity. It can enhance it, but only God really can solidify who you are. Stop attaching that to a person. That's where we go wrong, women. We go wrong, ladies. We go wrong. People come and go. Stick with the one that never leaves nor forsakes us. And that's the
Stays
Lord.
closer than a brother.
Closer.
Ain't
You
that
hear
what
me?
you said? It's closer than a brother.
Well, a few announcements. This
Let's go. Let's
Saturday
hear it.
show topic is how much is too much to share on social media. That's this Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune in. Also, Thursday, I'm partnering with my sister Erica Jackson. She is doing a panel on culture and religion. I'll put the flyer on my page. It's going to be done through Zoom. It's going to be an amazing panel discussion. You want to be in the room, so I'll post that. I'll also post Coco's GoFundMe. She is still in need of our help, so I'll be sure to post that. If you are shopping for jewelry because you're getting married or in a wedding, come and see me. I got all kinds of wonderful things. Don't break the bank on jewelry. Polished on Purpose is here for your needs and have you fly affordably. All right. So, Simone, thank you for hanging out with me, girl. I'm going to get up here and get some rest. And
You
I
always
love
know I love hanging with you. I love
thank
these critical
you,
conversations.
girl.
I need y'all to listen. Shop Polished on Purpose.
Yes,
Follow
yes.
Critical Conversations. Trailblazers Radio with the Z. Trailblazers with a Z.
Let them know.
Trailblazers Radio. My Life Has Destiny podcast and
Yes.
Kirby Royal Entertainment and Traveling Services. I need
That's
you
right.
guys to blow these people up. Okay?
Please do.
Also,
Please
subscribe
do.
to their YouTube channels. Now, here, listen to this. Critical Conversations with LHG. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you find her on YouTube. Okay?
Yes.
Critical Conversations with LHG. That's
Absolutely.
Latanya. There's Gooden. Okay?
That's me.
Now,
You got it. You got
go
it.
follow all these people. Go follow these
Please
pages.
do.
Hit these people up. Shop
Hit us
Polish on
up. Hit
Purpose.
us up.
Do what you got to do. Okay? Now, join us on Saturday, like she said, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whatever time it is in your world,
Mm-hmm.
that's hey. But 5 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time, critical
You got it.
conversations. How much is too much to share on social media? Listen, these
Gonna be
conversations fire, okay?
Be good.
So
It's gonna
if
be
you don't
good.
know, now you know, okay?
Now you know.
Join us Saturday. Join us every Tuesday. Women, ladies, join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. There you go. GirlChat Weekly. There you have it. Govern yourself accordingly. These have been your weekly church announcements.
I love it. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Good night, everybody.
See Deaconess Latanya has good for more
Basketball. Good night, y'all.
Love you.
Love you too.